Welcome, class. Today we're going to be learning about the reading strategy called annotation. Your essential questions for today are, what reading strategies can help you when reading a nonfiction text? And what is annotation, and how can it help us when doing a close reading of a text? Alright, so we've been learning a lot about close reading, but let's do a review. Take a moment to pause this video, grab your notebook and a pen, and take notes throughout this lesson. Close reading. Close reading is a thoughtful analysis of a text. You might be saying, what's analysis? Well, it's a close examination or evaluation of something. Think about when you visit the doctor and he gives you an exam. He's looking closely at your ears, your nose, your mouth, your eyes, to make sure that you're healthy and doing well. Close reading is the same thing. We're doing a close examination of the words, the phrases, the text itself. We have a purpose for reading, and we are thinking about our thinking, which is called metacognition. So we're really looking closely and purposefully at the text. We're not just reading through to get to the end. So what are some strategies to do close reading? Well, annotation is one of them. When you annotate, you mark your confusion. Here are two examples of how you can annotate. On the left-hand side, you can see that you can use sticky notes and symbols. On the right-hand side, if it's okay to mark up your text, you can use highlighters or pens and create a symbol chart. You can circle powerful words or phrases that you don't know or that you do know. You can underline words or phrases you don't understand, place a question mark next to a question that you have, or an exclamation point next to something that surprises you. You can even draw an arrow when you make a connection to the text with something else that you've read or a personal life experience. And then don't forget to use those sticky notes to write important thoughts in the margin. All right, here is what annotating is not. It's not this. It's not marking up the text so much that you forget why you highlighted. You want to make sure that when you highlight, that you highlight purposefully and that you make a comment or know why you highlighted a particular passage. This is why sometimes highlighters and sticky notes are good to use combined. So, what does it look like? Well, here's two examples of annotation. On the left, there is the poem, The Road Not Taken. As you can see, the student circled the word not, has put some question marks on the page, and you can see the question, where does the road go? You can see some vocabulary words are listed. And then also on the right-hand side, you can see there's a lot of different notes about meaning and questions and lots of underlining going on. So this is what it looks like. On the right-hand side, you can see that the student has circled many vocabulary words. And these are words that the student was unfamiliar with. And so a great strategy is to look up the synonyms for unfamiliar words and draw a little line to the synonym. Then read the passage again using the synonyms with which you are familiar. Again, as you see, the student also circled the word it and made sure to write down the word high school. So that way, when reading the text again, instead of saying it, the student can say high school may even be more brutal these days. And so it just helps to make sense of the text. Here's a picture of a book that has been annotated. It's been highlighted, underlined, and there's many sticky notes tracking the thinking of the student. On the right-hand side, I just wanted to remind you that you can get the tool on your computer called Sticky Note. So if you're reading a text online, you can use this tool to annotate and write questions and comments about the text. If you need help getting sticky note on your computer, just contact myself or Mrs. DiMascola and we can help you out. So remember our say something reading strategy that we learned earlier? Well, instead of saying it out loud, you're going to write it down. This is annotating the say something reading strategy. And here are the 5 strategies that we use to say something. If you take a look, I have the book The Lightning Thief on the right by Rick Riordan. Just looking at the picture alone, I could use the say something reading strategy. I'm going to pick 2 to give you an example. I'm going to ask a question and make a comment. My questions here would be, what is that boy doing in the water? And why is there lightning shooting out of the sky? And what's in his hand? My comment would be, this place looks really creepy and really spooky. So if I was annotating what I'm saying, I would be writing this all down, maybe on a sticky note or maybe somewhere within the inside of the book. All right, so here's an example. This example is from The Lightning Thief, and I'm going to read this to you, and I'm going to show you how to annotate using your pointer tool or an arrow tool and an underline tool. Look, I didn't want to be a half-blood. If you're reading this because you think you might be one, my advice is close this book right now, believe whatever lie your mom or dad told you about your birth, and try to lead a normal life. Being a half-blood is dangerous. It's scary. Most of the time, it gets you killed in painful, nasty ways. If you're a normal kid reading this because you think it's fiction, great, read on. I envy you for being able to believe that none of this ever happened. But if you recognize yourself in these pages, if you feel something stirring inside, stop reading immediately. You might be one of us. And once you know that, it's only a matter of time before they sense it too. And they'll come for you. Don't say I didn't warn you. My name is Percy Jackson. I'm 12 years old. Until a few months ago, I was a boarding student at Yancey Academy, a private school for troubled kids in upstate New York. So again, maybe I would want to highlight or underline words or phrases I don't understand. And one of the things that I would underline is this right here. I didn't want to be a half-blood, because right now I don't really understand what that means. I don't know what half-blood is. Okay. Another part here, I might want to draw an arrow to make a connection. And so one of the things that I might make a connection to is right here. I'm 12 years old and went to a boarding school for troubled kids. I actually taught at a boarding school for troubled kids, and so I know what that's like and I can relate to that. I might also, star something that I think is important. On this chart here, there are no stars, but again, you could certainly make up your own symbol chart. And one of the things that I might star is Percy Jackson. So obviously, right now I can tell that's one of the main characters. And so as you can see, you can mark up this whole text and highlight this text or use a symbol chart, okay? But this is just an example of how you can use symbols or annotate a passage. So have fun with that, and your checklist for the end of this lesson is, can you define the word annotation? And do you know how annotation helps you when close reading a text? If you can do these things, answer the questions below this video.